What's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Gen X Vet here with a series of videos from TikTok. As you read in the title, you can see in the thumbnail, we have, I'd say, middle-aged man. He's probably a little bit older than me. I'm not sure. I don't know. They don't say his age, really. But, yeah, he's probably around 50, 51, 52. But, yeah, we have this individual in Oklahoma. And he wanted a little, company Christmas Day. So, yeah, he invited, a young lady over, thinking he was going to, just sit and Netflix and chill out and watch television on Christmas Day. And they had other plans. So without further ado, let's get to the video.
They were running around, running back and forth in my front yard, trying to figure out how they could penetrate or try to make the arrangements to get inside my house.
Arthur Jones describes the moment as terrifying when several guys tried to break into his home.
I had invited a lady friend to come to my residence and spend some time with me. And
lady friend.
We would listen to music, watching.
Listen to music. Come on. These are the chicks that he invited over, right? So one brought another one over. Oh, you can have us both, type of thing. I see like the way dude look, he probably don't get a lot of attention. You got a wife and like that. He's probably lonely. But you should, he's a rookie apparently, because there's other ways of doing this without bringing this attention to himself.
Videos and having a few drinks.
But he says that woman and another were plotting to rob him the whole time. Watch as the women go in and out of the home over and over. Then at least 3 men arrive at the door. One woman walks out. She then tells them to go away.
I was getting alerts from my phone that they were going down my door, and I realized that they was trying to rob me.
The 2 women were arrested, but the men are still on the run.
The subjects had fled prior to the officers' arrival, and they canvassed the area and were able to locate 2 females that were involved.
See, the bad thing about this, because they dropped their location of whoever they sent to come rob the dude while he was occupied with them. So that's a bad thing about phones and stuff these days. If he just met them out of the blue or through a dating app, you know what you're doing, right? You know what you're meeting for. You shouldn't be taking people like that, especially these young ass, because think about it. You should have some common sense, homie. And like, this young ass chick, you look at how I look, it's not for love. So you don't take them to your own place, your own residence. You go to a hotel, go somewhere else, do what you need to there. And see, because they could drop your location. Now, these other dudes that actually arrived on scene, they permanently have your location. So if they end up getting caught, they could pass that same address to one of their homies who can come and off you as well. So that's the bad thing about this whole thing. It's some type of retaliation thing now. They permanently have your address. So whenever these 2 females, if they do get out, or if they don't, they can like send their friends over to do something to you. And you're not going to be expected. Where daytime, nighttime, you're pretty much screwed. You're going to be looking over your back now because you don't look like the type of person who's going to just pack up and move somewhere else anytime soon. So that's the situation you're in. But like I said, you can tell he wants somebody. He didn't want to be lonely on Christmas. So he got these young ass women. And a lot of people come in the comments and say, oh, well, he shouldn't be dating somebody that young. He'd like he'd be his granddaughter or his daughter or whatever. But the age isn't the issue. If they're over 18, it is legal. Legal. People may not like it or may feel icky, but the law is the law. Would I do it? No, because at least 21. You got to be able to at least drink, get to a club. But I think they were of age, but still, it's like, it's the optics of other people looking in at it. It's just weird.
And they arrested them. They are not cooperating.
They're not cooperating. So basically, they're not going to rat the 2 dudes out. It could be their pimps. It could be somebody with influence. So, if you tell on me, I'm going to do something to your family. So they're not going to cooperate with the cops, these 2 females. So that's another issue the dude has to worry about now. That's crazy. You know, dude lonely. He just want a little tenderoni or something, and now he has to look forward to some type of retaliation going into 2026. Let's see what these comments got to say. Wow, sad. A damn shame. Why you can't trust anyone these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, even back when I was dating, you know, I was meeting people, you know, random chicks, stuff like that. Never take them to your place. I take them to Starbucks. I take them to Chili's. You know, back then, you know, people don't date like they do these days. You know, like these people, it's all about a transaction. They want money. That's all they want. Back in the day, you actually dated with intention. So no one complained about where you went. You know, you got to have a good time. You know, crazy to be telling a grandchild stuff like this happening. Wow, this is crazy. That's awful. She looked like a child while you look 50. See, that's a woman. You know, number one red flag, dead wrong. Again, if she's legal age, no matter how you feel about it, he's in the right. You know, like I said again, optics. They always say, oh, when an older man does this, but when an older woman does this to a younger man, yes, queen, they do all this bullshit that they be doing with their hands. Yes, girl, cougar, go ahead then, go on, girl. They do bullshit like that. But when it's always a guy, they have an opinion about it. It's his fault. I blame him. Miss Park, another one. Of course. Victim blaming 25, you're going to jail. Always. This is disgusting. I know he was vehemently upset with the turnout of his Christmas night. I always fucked that way. I know what it means, but I always mess it up. You know, people are savage on Christmas too. The young ladies in jail for underage drinking or no. Accomplice or attempt to rob. So it's like, yeah, like, I get what he wanted, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta be smart, man. You gotta tell he doesn't normally get female attention, so that's why he probably did it.
Man, this man right here learned the hard way that them young motherfuckers be trying to get you robbed, man. You can see on his motherfucking Ring door cam that it was two young motherfuckers outside and a female driving
Happy New
the
Year
car.
for my fiance.
And them folk were trying to get in his motherfucking house, man. This man said he invited one of these young motherfuckers over because it was Christmas and he thought he gonna get him unwrap a little early morning Christmas gift. But he said around about 1 o'clock in the morning, he kept hearing something banging on the door and they were kicking. And he said he started looking at the Ring cam and he seen two young motherfuckers with ski masks kicking on his door, man. He said, one of them young motherfuckers hollered out the gal's name that was in the house with him. He said he said that's when he knew he fucked up. And he dialed 911. The police came and they arrested this gal and went up arresting her friend, but they still looking for the two men that was kicking on this motherfucking door, man. Y'all motherfuckers better stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. That's the oldest trick in the book. Let a female come over your motherfucking house and know where you lay your head, and then them hoes get to call their friends to come kick your door in, man.
See, that's the thing. Like, he's not used. Just look at him though. And I'm not saying they're the greatest looking chicks, but you know, him being lonely on Christmas Day, he wanted some attention. You know, you gotta think long and hard about what you do, man. You usually want somebody to talk to him. Other things for some change or some strange for change. I forgot how the whole saying goes, but yeah, something strange for a little bit of change. That's how it went. But yeah, he was just trying to get somebody to talk to, somebody warm body lay next to, and you gotta think it through. Think it through.
They say don't blame the victim, but some people feel like this is a situation that the victim is to blame. Okay, I understand. So on Christmas Day, Arthur Jones in Newcastle, Oklahoma, invited over a little tenderoni. He saw her and thought she was real cute on some doggone website. I'm not sure if it was a dating site or not, but it was definitely an app. All right, telling. She decided to bring her little homegirl with her, and they was gonna go kick it at his house for Christmas, have them some drinks, listen to them some music, have them a good kiki. According to Arthur, okay? That's what Arthur's plan was. That is not the plan that the ladies had when they got there, okay? So when they got there, they kept going in and out of Arthur's house, but Arthur had their good old Ring camera set up, and so they kept going in and out, and he was getting all these notifications, and he was just like, let me look at these doggone notifications. Something just tells me to look. So he looks, and he sees one of the girls talking to multiple guys. I do believe it was 4 guys. Only 3 of them you can see, but it was
Ain't no
definitely a
way.
total of 4 guys. They got confirmation.
After those chicks would walked at that final time, or locked that door, and just sat in the chairs like I'm doing right now with my shotgun, just waiting. Somebody come busted that door, I would just lit their ass the fuck up. Been perfectly justified. Why were you sitting in your chair right here in the little hallway going to your door? It's my house. I can do what I want, right? Somebody busted in my house. I don't know who these people were. Well, that's for them to figure out.
That they was trying to plan on how to get in the house so they could rob him. But because he had got his spidey senses alerted finally after they kept going in and out multiple doggone times, he was like, oh, absolutely not me. And with him being in Oklahoma, you know, he was definitely ready to go at all times, as you should in any state that you can. Definitely
Yes,
recommended.
sir.
Highly
Keep it ready.
recommended, okay? Highly recommended. You know, I'm down
Keep
here in
it ready.
Texas, highly recommended, all right? And so he said, go get my doggone weapon. He was ready. They took off running.
Go get my. You say, go get my doggone weapon. You talking to somebody? So somebody else is there too? Because if it wasn't the 2 chicks, they wouldn't know where his gun is. So that's strange to say it that way.
And so, you know, the girls had got arrested, but they not cooperating with the officers. They like, I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. I didn't do nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I can't say nothing. But they like, we got y'all on ring camera. They not telling them nothing. But they still looking for them 4 other guys. But the girls is definitely in custody on conspiracy to commit felony and first-degree burglary. So they both sitting up in there. But them 4 guys that they had told
4
this
of
is the plan and the plan didn't go as planned, they still looking for them. So if you in Newcastle, Oklahoma, and you know those 4 guys that was trying to get up in Arthur's house, go ahead and let them know they looking for them. All right? All right. Be safe now. Stop inviting over strangers to the house, okay?
man.
Just saying, Arthur.
You gotta put some time in with somebody, before, you know, get to know them first before you just invite any old person over, because you don't know what their intentions are. You could wake up without kidneys, without a liver, you know, because like if they invited him into the house, if they would have gotten into his house, think about it, you know, 4 dudes, and if the 2 chicks would have jumped in to help, that's 6 people on 1 dude. You know, they could have, you know, deleted him even without a weapon or a gun, and no one would know anything. If he's there by himself, if he used to be by himself, nobody there with him, it'd been days, maybe even weeks before somebody found out that he was, you know, passed. So y'all got to be smart about what y'all do, these people y'all meet, because it seems like they try to do any and everything just to get, you know, $1 these days. Because people don't want to work, you know, they want to put an honest days of work in. They're ready to just, you know, take your shit. Because people are lazy these days, especially these younger generations. The I want to get it right now generation. Here we go. Hugh, Arthur. Who, Arthur? Oh, Arthur. Facts. You know, facial emoji, shit like that. But yeah, man, you gotta get in the church, bro. Meet somebody that way. Go to a coffee shop, something.
Let's get into the foolery, y'all. This man thought he was gonna have him a good Christmas morning. He had invited a lady friend over, but she came over, but she actually
You can hear it, right? I'm not tripping. You can hear it, right? In the voice.
invited a couple of friends. She had invited another female friend over, baby. Then came 3 other men that were trying to get in the house to rob them. And the one friend had to go back outside and tell them, y'all need to go. And he got an alert on his phone that there was some motion going around from the front door to the back of his house. And so he kind of figured it out that they were trying to rob him. So the girls ended up leaving. But he ended up calling the police. The girls got arrested. But the 3 men are still at large. But I said, so they were charged with felony to commit
a crime.
and first-degree burglary. I said, damn, all y'all got was music, liquor, in y'all stomach full. He'll never try that lady friend on Christmas again. Let's get
Okay. Yeah, dude wasn't doing that, but just trying to get him a little piece. That's all he was doing. Yeah, but when tricking goes wrong, bro was doing nothing but tricking. Yeah, that's pretty much what he's doing. So, like I said, it was his first time. Try to get a piece, do something strange for a little bit of change, and he paid price for it. So now he's got, like I said, you got to look forward to that, some type of retaliation, because these chicks are probably, say they're pimps or they're handlers, or they probably one of the girlfriends of those the dudes that got away. So retaliation, they know where you live now. So you got to keep that thing on you at all times, bro. Sleep with one eye open at night, because they try to come in early in the morning, 1 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You gotta be ready to get up, get at it. But I don't know, I don't recommend doing this. So if you're out there, you tricking, don't do this. Just be somebody the normal way, the natural way. You shouldn't have to pay just for get a little piece of puss. Anyway, that's my thoughts. That's my comment on. Let me know if you know this guy, or if you've been in a situation, somebody who's been in a situation. If anything, I'd say, hey, bro, lose some weight, go get your passport, go overseas, meet somebody that way if you can't find nothing in your local town. But yeah, that's all I got to say. So like, share, subscribe, and notification bell. I'll catch you in the next video in 2026. Peace.